So here's a video feedback report on this task 1, which I've seen many times. Tawsif Hussain. What I was looking at, one thing that caught my eye was Tawsif Hussain. That name sounds... Well, actually, I should make it up. I didn't recognize the name. I'm sorry. But I noticed that it said that Tawsif had been a member since 2017. And I just clicked on his name. Well, there it said 2017. And I have given him feedback on video going back to September of 2020. When are you going to take the test? Okay, and well, let's just get straight to it. The graph below shows the proportion of the population aged 65 and over between 1940 and 2040. Now, if in this very same thread there's another video that I did for somebody else. Wait, is my microphone working? Yes, it is. And I'm not going to go through all of that again. Suffice to say that this topic, this question gives you the opportunity to demonstrate some significant language features, because you have the past, and you have the present, and you have the future. I've seen other line graphs like this. This is an easier version. This is from Cambridge 5, I believe. Anyway, summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Tawsif, if you've been following this board for 3 years, you know that that's the important part of the instructions. Summarize means make shorter. Selecting means you don't report everything. You report the important stuff. And report accurately the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Not just any comparison, but a comparison of the key features. So again, Tawsif has done this. Has done what is that, 5th, 6th video report I've done for him. Anyway, you should know the first thing you don't want to do is write 280 words in task 1. Oh man. Let's see what else we can find out just by looking at the numbers over here on the right. Longest sentence, 45 words. Oh my god, it's a monster. 28 words is an average sentence length. Is too long. Okay, too long. It would take 22 minutes without any thinking and analyzing to write this. So there's no way. It could be longer. That's based on an average native speaker writing speed. Of course, Sweden and USA has to be used a lot of time. Old people, number, seniors, slightly just percentage. Okay, that's fair enough in terms of your frequency of using keywords. Let's see what I noticed. Okay. That's the color coding. I'm going old school here with the white background and the highlighter. Okay, the graph. What graph? Oh, this one. The percentage of old people. Old people? No, it's a specific age group. 65 and older. Not just old people. I'm an old person. I'm only 52. In Japan, an extra space where it doesn't need to be, and the USA, between 1940 and the predicted 2040. This is green for grammar, because that's not the correct way to use the predicted 2040. There needs to be another noun in here. Units are measured in percentages, more than one. You don't have to tell us that, because you say here, the percentage. It tells us that that's what it illustrates. It illustrates it in percentages. Of course it's going to show it in percentages. Okay, now the critical part of the whole report is the overview. And for me, when I look at this, from the overview, it seems pretty obvious, okay, that the overall trend is growth in every country. But there are 2 different pathways towards that. A steady, yet fluctuating increase, as shown in Japan, is shown in Sweden and the USA, and a slow decrease, followed by a rocketing of the numbers at the end. So, overall, they go up, but they do it in very different ways. Your overview should not have stuff like Japan had the lowest old age population in 1940. First of all, that's not accurate. We don't know that. It didn't have the lowest. It had the lowest percentage of old people. I called it old people. Of 65 and plus, of seniors. The lowest percentage, not the lowest number. How many people live in Japan? Just for ease of counting, we'll say it's 100 million. What's 5% of 100 million? 5 million. What's the population of Sweden? 20 million. What's 8% of 20 million? 1.6 million. So Japan had a lot more old people than Sweden did. There are more seniors in Sweden than in Japan. Not as a percentage, but that's not what you've written. It says it has the lowest old age population. It does not. We don't know that. I know that Sweden is significantly smaller than Japan in population, so I almost say for sure that. But I wouldn't write that either because we don't know that based on the chart. Okay. All right. The lowest old population 40, but it will have the highest. Okay, that's a good main feature to point out. But to say followed by Sweden and the USA slows the reader down. That's why it's blue for coherence. Yes, followed by Sweden and the USA. Who else? By Finland and Russia? I mean, it's not needed. The proportion, there's that word, of seniors is almost the same as Sweden until 1980, but Sweden will have more elderly people than the USA. Once again, that's not true. USA population 300 million. 25% of 300 million is 75 million. So Sweden will not have more elderly people. So that's inaccurate reporting of the data, and it's not a good. I mean, it is the trend that you want to highlight. Okay, that Sweden and the USA followed similar patterns of seniors prevalence until 1980, until 2000, actually, until just before 2000. Yeah, it was long. 1980 is wrong, but then fluctuated differently before reaching nearly the same percentage. Then, ideally, you want your overview to mirror. You want your body paragraphs to mirror the overview. And by that, I mean the first point that you make in your overview needs to be what you're going to put in more detail in the next paragraph. Okay? And then the second point you make should be the next body paragraph. But we have no idea what your overview is when reading this paragraph because it doesn't detail that. Instead, it's just an inaccurate description of the of what the data shows. All of it. Okay, was around 10%. Well, no, just under 10%. Say 9%. I need a comma in there, which was higher as opposed to the size of seniors. Oh, the size of them. The Swedish people are pretty big. That's true, but it's not the size of the seniors. It's the size of the number. In Sweden, at above 5%. What? Sweden is quite clearly about 7%, so it's not above 5%. And it's very awkward, that wording. After 1940, the number of aged ones. Oh God. Don't hunt for synonyms that you don't know if they work or not. Aged ones is not a combination of words that we find in the English language ever. Well, if you're talking maybe like in fantasy books or something, of the aged ones, both in the USA. Fluctuated, yay! Why did I mark that green? Oh, we need a comma in there. After 1940, both USA and Sweden fluctuated, comma, although the old population, you mean the previous population? Oh no, the population of USA, old population of the USA. Senior Americans outnumbered Swedish ones by percentage. Okay, I'm not going to go through the rest of this, except there's another aged one. The don't use percentages like that. Don't use parentheses like this. It's silly. Although I did highlight increase to show that we have, in Sweden, the old people increased to 20%. The USA will increase. The old people were something before. It will increase. So don't repeat your words like that. In close proximity, next to each other. Unlike the USA and Sweden, Japan had the least number of old people. And we've talked about that. Among all the countries. In the world? No, you mean just USA and Sweden. Well, you've already said that. From 1940 to just after 2020. No. Okay, so Japan had the least number of old people among until just after 2020. Where is this point where it hits? It's closer to 2040 than it is 2020. Okay, just use your eyes. Where does the Japan line cross the other two? In 2035. Not. What you said. But later on, their proportion increased, and it increases. There's increase like right next to each other, until it will reach. Is projected to use will too much to reach maximum size. No, that's not how we use maximum. Among the three countries. Again, we know what we're talking about there, and in this last bit here, just is really confusing. It's not phrased correctly, and you don't need to include numbers for everything. You have to put some numbers in there. But you're not very good at reporting them accurately, so stay away from them once you've gotten them on the page. So, due to the inaccuracies, the main feature miss, okay, or the sort of the unclear way in which presented would preclude you from anything higher than a 6 in task achievement. CNC, you can see it's all this blue, lots of blue. CNC needs help. Yeah, you're still looking at a 6, my friend. But don't take another 3 years to get it.